Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Above Ground Radio. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, and we have some more submissions. But before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who submitted. Without you guys, there would be no content, so I really appreciate that. And if you're listening to this, I do urge you to go down into the description and check them out, or there will be a little annotation up in the top corner where you can visit their social media. So, without further ado, we have Andrew Langdon's Let's Walk Under Our Stars. Thank you so much for that submission, Andrew. Great work. Before we move on to the next track, I just wanted to point out some of the meters that I have down here. I've updated it since the last time that I recorded. I just thought it'd be helpful for any fellow producers out there. If you hear tracks that you like the mix of, and I thought it'd just be a little bit easier if you could see anything that you need. So in case you're unfamiliar, we have a loudness meter here, which measures LUFS, or loudness units full scale. Here we have a spectrogram. Then I have a standard dB meter on the side, and then an imager over here. So hopefully that'll help you guys out. Just seeing some of the specifics of the mix if you're trying to recreate some sounds that you hear here. If you have any ideas or suggestions for what I should add, please let me know, because I'm constantly looking to improve it. So next up, we have Harold Riveri's Geiger counter. Thank you so much for the submission, Harold. I just wanted to say my personal feedback. I really love the little clicks and the glitches up in the high end. I think that's awesome. One note though is I would try mixing this with a little bit more dynamic range, because um, my loudness meter here says that you're at about -7 LUFS. And since there's not much dynamic range here, if you uploaded this to YouTube or Spotify or other streaming services, not exactly sure how iTunes and Apple Music work, but I know that Spotify will actually reduce the level of your track. So it'll be low on dynamic range, and it'll be quieter. So I bet if you bring back some of the lower elements in the mix and see if you can drop that integrated LUFS down a little bit, then your track won't be reduced in gain. It'll actually sound louder when people are listening to it. But as an idea, creatively, I love it. Keep up the great work, and please submit more. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Honesty by HyperX. And if you don't know him, I was actually just on his live stream the other day, last week, I believe, where we were just talking a little bit about the creative process and reviewing some people's tracks. So definitely be sure to go check him out. And here's Honesty. Thank you very much for the submission, HyperX. Love the track. Amazing. Great creative idea. I really don't know if this is released already or not. I'm just going to assume it's a work in progress because most of the tracks that I get are. And I don't want to give something feedback as if it was already completed. You'll notice that if you are watching the video instead of listening to this in the background, that I was circling little areas on the spectrogram and the meter and just things that I thought were important to look at because I don't want to talk over the tracks. Assuming that this is a work in progress, then this isn't really that big of a deal at the moment, but your mix is peaking by a significant amount. Like I said, not really a problem right now. Just make sure that that's finished before you release it. Turn that down. No big deal though. Voice crack. No big deal though. Definitely, I really enjoyed what you did in this section with the dynamics, where you would bring the level down and give it some space every once in a while, and that contrast really helps it hit hard. I love that. And then I would also point out when I was circling this part in the spectrogram, instances where he cut the sub. If you are an electronic producer and you did not know about that, I would highly recommend it, especially if you're trying to have something hit really hard. Removing the sub bass or even some of the higher bass frequencies before your drop or your main section, and then bringing them back in right when you need them again can really make them feel like they hit a lot harder. That contrast is great. So good job. Please submit more in the future. Next up, we have Nephilim with Bloom. Awesome. Thank you for the submission. That was awesome. I took a whole bunch of notes during that whole thing. I'm trying to take more notes so I can give better feedback because I know that that's something I really value when I'm producing. So here goes. First thing that I noticed is in your intro section, how wide your stereo image is. Now that sounds great with my setup because I'm listening in headphones right now. I'm not sure if that'll work well when you bring it down to mono on a mono system. Not sure because I'm not listening to it, but that's just something you want to keep in mind. I love the perks that you have in the intro. The percussion's amazing. Yeah, that section, I really love those, the percussion up in the top end. I really love the timing change that you do with the drums in the first drop. One thing that I did notice is there a little bit of mud in your low mid end in the first drop. I couldn't tell if it was confliction between the bass and the piano, the low end of the piano. That's what it sounded like to me. And then I noticed in the second drop that it was much clearer and there wasn't piano. So I'm guessing that's what it was. If you like that sound, of course, definitely keep it. But I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. Love the low pass. Maybe wrong spot. Okay, I can't find the spot, but when you low pass the drums, I definitely really like that. And last thing that I have to say is, or two things, sorry, is in this breakdown, I love how much space you kept in the mix. I'll show that on the spectrogram real quick. So even just from that short clip, you can see really how there's a little bit, almost nothing up in the high end than this midsection here in the bass. So it really feels real open. You can hear everything clearly. You don't have to pick elements out of the mix. They just stand out, which is awesome. And lastly, I love how you didn't go for any build up for this second drop at all. You just brought it right in, which I think was amazing. So keep up the great work. That is awesome. Lastly, we have Landon Cook, We Need It All, featuring Lil Brandon and Crazy Colors. And again, please be clicking on these annotations. Go down to the description and follow everybody whose links that I have, because what are the odds that these are their only good songs, right? They are constantly putting out amazing music, so please go check them out and give them the support that they deserve. Without further ado, here we go.
Yeah. Swear to God. Yeah, he only 18 on his own shit. All I heard was, hey, Lil B, go get your own bitch. Yeah, but I ain't tryna die young, I wanna get rich. So fuck a hoe and fuck a bro, where that money gets. I swear niggas been hating on me since back then. I was a young rich nigga standing on all 10. Shook a lot of people hand and called them best friend. Then they crossed me half over a bitch, man. Then they say, damn Lil B, you a bitch, man. Damn Lil B, you the Grinch, man. Damn Lil B, you took it, bitch, man. Damn Lil B, you the glitch, man. But shit, I guess that's me, man. I'm double G, man. Had that dress in 2010, man. They call me 10, man. Gas got me on my shit, man. I'm on my shit, man. Chasing the bin till I'm rich, man. My fingers itch, man. Yeah, if you ain't the game, you ain't my bro. Got your bitch stripping naked, dancing like a hoe. She a pro. In the game, they don't go. Catch you with your family. Got your mama yelling, no, she gotta go. Live by that gun, then you die by that gunplay. Niggas diss through the week, then you not seeing Sunday. It's look crazy in this bitch, nigga. That's all I gotta do. Yeah, I'm tired now. I got some more. I got tired. Yo, bitch number in my phone, that she good as gone. Hit the road for them lows just to take them home. And to my bros, we can't never break the code. Let a nigga play, get in the way, then we gon' get them gone. Drug trafficking, I supply the streets. They tried to trap me in, they thought they had me beat. But that ain't happening, no, we hop out on feet. Fumble with that sack again, we score for more than 3. We need it all. Know that. Yeah, we on that. Gas got me on that. Yo, bitch, I'm on that. Swear to God.
Thank you so much for that submission. That was great. Good to have a little bit of variety around here. So if you're looking to submit your own music, please submit anything that you want. I know right now we've mostly had electronic so far, but really it doesn't matter what you do. It can be a piece for solo bass guitar. I really don't care what it is. As long as you're proud of it and you want other people to hear it, then I am willing to take it and post it up here. So feedback. The first thing that I noticed, I think that all of your vocals have the same reverb on them. I'm not 100% sure, so if I'm wrong, then just ignore this feedback. But it sounded like your main vocals and then your ad-libs, which are panned over to the left, had the same reverb on them, which kind of puts them in the same depth in the mix. I would assume that you would want your main vocals closer up, more in your face, but that might not fit the vibe of the track or what you're going for. So again, take this with a grain of salt. I like how you chose to mix the drums a little farther back. That puts the attention more on the vocals, which I think is a really good creative choice. I noticed that there isn't really a chorus or repetitive section in here, or maybe I just completely forgot it while writing notes, but that is either a upside or a downside, again, depending on what you're going for, because it can really, with the chorus, sometimes it can distract from the verse, which is, well, a lot of times what the artist, at least the rappers, will spend most of the time on. So it kind of sucks to have all of that light, sort of the spotlight taken off the your favorite part of the track. I love the outro. I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be. I'm assuming it's supposed to be like a tape machine or something, turn it off. But I really love the soft outro instead of just the standard fade out. And then lastly, this little bit of space right here, and we'll play it again.
We scope for more than 3. We need it all. Know that. Yeah.
I love that. I'm probably just biased because I do that all the time in my tracks, but I think excellent use of it. Great work with the dynamic range. Really makes the drums feel like they hit a little bit harder, even though you have them mixed a little farther back. So that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you for tuning in and listening. I really appreciate it. Again, please go and subscribe, follow, repost, all that good stuff for all of these people here. It really does them a huge service, and it's really the least that we can do for them providing us with free content. If you are an artist and you'd like to submit, then there'll be information in the description. We have a Discord server, and I try to post at least one of these a week. I'm also going to link to the Above Ground SoundCloud as well, where I just repost some tracks that I like, try and give people some more exposure. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.